What's up, everybody? It's Jeffrey Lyles welcoming you to another edition of Lyles Movie Files. Joining me, as always, is little brother Jace. Bro Shot, what's going on?
Doing good, bro. How are you? Wait, I'm sorry. I'm doing okay. Let me throw that out there. I'm doing okay.
Yes. We won't mention 70. Chief, what's going on? Not just Chief, the Master Chief now. You got a promotion. Congratulations.
What's going on, man? I'm sorry, Jace. You know what I mean? Hey, you got that 20-piece no charge. All flats. My man said all flats, yeah. All flats.
So, for those of you who don't know, Jace is a Denver Broncos fan, proud Broncos fan.
Yeah. Yes. It's a very interesting time over here.
Oh, by the way, look for your Russell Wilson jersey. I sent it through the mail.
Hey,
what's up, Blake?
If you can come up with, I can find a charity rather donate than that.
Well, it's going. Look, I didn't even wrap it. I don't think anybody's going to steal it.
It can be outside the door, hanging on the door. No one's going to steal it. Like,
oh man,
is that a giveaway? Yeah.
Blake, what up?
This is freebie. Blake wasn't sure if you're going to be here tonight, Chief.
Man, I missed one episode, man, because I couldn't breathe, and now it's am I coming? You know what I mean? I'm here.
After Child's in the building, as always. Snake Eyes is here.
Snake Eyes,
welcome back.
Which armor? Help me out. All right. Well, without further ado, because we got a lot I want to run through on this show, Ahsoka is just killing it. And I need Disney to just go ahead and put me out of my misery and say, yeah, we signed it for like 4 more seasons. I think that'll be a number I'll be like, okay. Unless they go, we're going to do a Rebels show next. That'll be my only satisfaction if they don't give us the news as soon as it's ending. Then stay tuned for Ahsoka season 2 or stay tuned for Rebels season 1. I mean, either one. This last episode, hey Chief, that was for you, Master Chief.
What's up, Snake Eyes? Yeah.
So, this past episode, I don't even have expectations for Ahsoka anymore. I'm just watching it like, what are they gonna do? And this episode wasn't just classic Star Wars. I felt like this was live action, everything that was great about Rebels in 39, 45 minutes. So good. I don't even know where to go. We had Sabine reuniting with Ezra. We had Balin just being the coolest bad guy to enter this whole realm of Star Wars since Count Dooku. I mean, it's just like, this guy is great. More of him all day, all the time. I don't know who they need to recast to play this role, but we need Balin Skull to continue. And he's not going to be as good as Ray Stevenson, who is killing it, but I need more Balin.
Yeah. I mean, I think somebody mentioned this. Could have been 80s Child last week, but it is kind of like, I do want to hear what his end game is, at least in the season finale, just to kind of get that anticipation, like, oh, now we see it. Like, because again, he's still cool kicking, him as the, lightsaber dude's like, no, you really want to try this again? like I appreciate that, but I do want to see like an end game for him. I wonder if it's the actor / not now ended writer strike that stops them from announcing like, hey, here's what we're doing next.
I wonder.
Because at this point, it actually does. It's like, why is nobody talking about this? Because it would probably be like, Dave Filoni would probably be the one that says, yes, of course. But he's like, I can't say anything until at least we've signed a contract. And then possibly not stepping on the writers. I mean, the actors who helped us get anything until they're out of the clear. We're not going to say any kind of big projects that have already been greenlit. So
I was looking at we're going to talk about the strike. The writer's strike is over after him, so lots of repercussions on that. I was looking at Blake's suggestion for Balin, Adam Baldwin. Let me pull it up real fast.
Okay, let me think of Adam. All right, he was the one in Usual Suspects. Oh,
I feel like that's probably the best modern version. He was also in Firefly too, but I can see that.
You didn't see him in
Serenity.
Gosh.
Was he in Chuck too?
Yeah, that's what I was like. The one from the one he actually was just like he was playing the straight man, and it's like Grinch Chuck. He could pull that off.
Yeah. The View with Drew's in the building. What's going on?
What's up, Drew?
The guy who plays Negan, Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Wouldn't be a terrible choice either. They'd have to pad him up a little, but yeah.
He's in big demand, so I it's like trying to get on
his
his
he would drop everything to be in Star Wars. 80s kid here. Hey, I suggested every Bay movie should never have sequels. You're jumping ahead. We're not even there yet.
Yeah.
Firefly, he does. Yeah, he looks like he's got that presence.
Yeah.
So where do you want to go with this episode? I mean, we had Grand Admiral Thrawn, and he is such a great villain right away. He's not emotional. He's, oh yes, this is what we shall do, and oh, let me show you what I see. The dude is just cold, no emotion.
I mean, again, especially somebody I'm in now in season 4 in Rebels, and it's very much like this. It really feels like that's continuation of Thrawn. Like, oh, okay, this is what they move. I got a counter move for this. I've thought ahead of these guys. I'm ready to actually, do what I need to. Like, oh, I need to get rid of these Jedi. Okay, you mercenaries, go get them. I don't care.
Hey, I thought they looked better than the Knights of Ren.
I saw that in your review on loudmoviefile.com.
Thank you.
Yeah, when you called them the Balin's Knights, yeah, I was like, they did better. I mean, they had more of a presence than the Knights of Ren. I'm at this point, you're just like, hey, just keep this pace going. Like Thrawn has been so excellent as a bad guy. You're like, I want to see more. But Jeff, do you want to start on how the episode started?
Go for it.
Oh no! I want you to go because I'm sure you can use.
Are we talking about the training session?
No, Hera.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wow, because it was like there was so much stuff, and I was like, oh man, this episode was crazy, and I like totally forgot that was how the episode started. So we had Hera standing before the New Republic, and it's just like these guys are so gonna screw this up because they're letting one dude who's got all the mouth make them punks, and they're just sitting there letting him berate Hera, and Hera's like, listen, this dude's coming, y'all need to get ready. And then it seems like all hope is lost for Hera and this plan to be like, no, listen, I broke the rules because there's a good reason. He's blowing off the Virgil, he's blowing off Thrawn and all this stuff. And then
if you didn't have video recording, I would say this is like, wait, we haven't seen a Jedi, because again, Luke is a fairy tale to some of these people. Like they're like,
yeah, Organa is part of the New Republic.
But they don't. Again, they just listen to her like, yeah, but she didn't see all of this stuff. She's like, I heard her brother beat the Emperor and Vader, and I'm assuming since the Death Star was destroyed, I think I'm actually going to say that was a win for the troops, and not the guy who actually did anything. They're like, we're going to deflect all the blame. I mean, the good that goes to probably one dude who probably did everything. We don't want to give him credit.
I mean, you gotta give General Calrissian credit too.
Yeah, it's like you want to give it seems like let's act like all this didn't happen. We're the nice bureaucrats who've gotten real settled, probably getting our kickbacks from some empire that we don't know about. Like, we're just okay. Like, keep the status quo until we can.
He's totally got to be an Imperial sympathizer. I mean, he's totally on the tape. He's just collecting paychecks from the Empire, coming into his direct deposit. He's good because there's no other way. And then 3PO just walks out there because Dave Filoni's like, I got Star Wars suckers, and I got the best realm because everything's wide open. No characters have been killed off. It's all here for me. And if I need to do a flashback with cool characters, I'll do that too.
Yeah, that was just like seeing him for like 2 seconds was like, I'm like, wait, are you guys gonna? It was like almost that anticipation, like somebody's coming, and then it's like,
oh, I didn't think anything was happening. I was just like, she's gonna have to do that thing, and then Zylo was like, we can't take the word of a droid. The chopper started showing. Oh man, it's like this is Rebels here. Chief,
like,
what do you think about 3PO showing up?
I was like, if Chopper was like anywhere near him, he would have just like flown up to him and just smacked him in the head with his arms.
Damn.
It's like,
Chief, what do you think about 3PO showing up?
Yeah, I enjoy C-3PO, man. I didn't think it was gonna be him walking through the door either, but it's always good to see the characters we grew up with in these modern days. So my man came through with the word, shut everything down. And nobody wanted to go against Leia. They was like, oh, okay. My man looked, he was like, no, I don't have anything else. I'm done.
Right.
So but yeah, that dude is, we usually find dudes like that on the take or whatever, or he'll be the first one killed. You know what I mean?
No, he's a sucker who stays way too long. He's like your guy. Yeah.
But that'll be a dude who's running during something. Yeah. And he'll do something old, like abandon the rest of the people thinking he's gonna get away type. Mm-hmm. And so we'll see what happens, man. But C-3PO came through, shut everything down. Great older character coming into play. And with ties to Luke.
Exactly. Yeah. And then I started going with my imagination, like, well, are we going to get some scenes with the Rebels crew and the original trilogy crew? Because I'd be down for that. I don't care how much CGI work they have to do. I'm all for it.
Yeah. Like, I used to appreciate it that they didn't actually go back to the well of using Luke. They actually no, we have other original trilogy characters that are still around. We want you to remember it's still all connected and they all exist. So we don't act like Luke is the only one you can have.
Here's me. Anytime they want to bring Luke out there, I'm right there. 80 Skid says, thank the maker. Don't ever mess with her. She'll make you eat your own words. James Green's in the building. What's up, Wednesday night movie? And then it was Ahsoka training.
Yeah, okay. Now we got after the title. Now we have Ahsoka training. Yes,
got Ahsoka training, and she's listening and hearing, watching her master Anakin Skywalker in his General Clone Wars gear again, giving her instructions, and she's like back in that vibe of being a Padawan, learning from the great Anakin. And then she was like, "Yeah, he did all these recordings for me, and who knows, maybe he was like." Foreshadowing that he wasn't going to be around forever because he was going to get killed off in the war somehow. But he left those for her so she could train and study. And he was like, this was the last one. And Hu Yang, who's always really funny and sarcastic, was like, oh, wow, that surprised me. I didn't know he had it in him. And she was all, yeah, he's a great master. And I love that scene because it showed that she's still, yeah, I feel like if I were there, I could have helped him. But she's moved past it now. She's like, okay, I've accepted it. But she's still, I guess maybe now she's in the grieving stage where she's gotten past all the disappointment, the regret. And now she's just like, he's gone. But he was such a great teacher, mentor, older brother for me.
I think it's more of an acceptance phase. It's like, okay,
I'm right here. Does Anakin defeat Balin in a lightsaber match?
Hey, listen. What I love so far is that Balin is just untouchable. The show is called Ahsoka, but she's not the best duelist on the show, and I love that. Yeah. It's like, man, you gonna win this rematch? Nope. Oh, okay. Sorry. We'll come back later then. So that's been awesome. So then we had Azarin Sabine chilling and the whole turtle shell snail crew. Yeah, I felt like Rebels, where they're just hanging out with a bunch of aliens and they're kind of fun. And then the Knights of Balin come after them and they're trying to do their whole Gungan thing, using slingshots, using rocks. And these guys like, are you serious? But then they start getting close and they start walloping them with the rocks. Love that scene. The whole chase sequence, and Shin going, I'm ready for this thing. You ready, Master? And he's like, actually, you go do your thing with the Empire. I have other things I've got to do. And
he's like, you got ambition.
Yeah.
I was interested. He's just like, no, I really got something to do in this place.
And it's funny because you see Balin's skill is beyond Ahsoka, and his Ahsoka skills is way beyond his Padawan.
Mm-hmm.
Even though technically Ahsoka never got past the Padawan stage herself, in a sense.
She gave herself her own diploma.
She would have got a promotion. There was a time they were going to give her a promotion. But yeah.
She did get a bonus for beating Darth Maul, though.
What was I gonna say? Like I liked even like when we just like Ahsoka, like we break out from the Purgles, and that
God, forgot about that scene.
Yeah, it's like that was like I'm one of the people I really like the Jango Fett, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Attack of the Clones, but this one was better. I'm like, wow, this is some real movie quality version of a starfighter battle, and even her coming out of the Purgle, and it's like, whoa, shoot! It was like, it really got you like, man, this is what really good Star Wars is, and like good sci-fi is. It's like you get these great moments, and you're like, oh wow, I'm connected to it, and this is something you'd be like, all right, well, come on, this is cool, right? Okay, it's cool.
Yeah, and I think Ahsoka has had that one moment in several episodes, and in some, it's been tons of moments in random episodes. Like that Shadow Warrior was like every scene, it felt like, wow, that was a great scene. Oh, that's another great visual. Oh man, so it was just scene after scene, and this one was just like, whew, yeah, it was wild stuff. Good news, says the viewer Drew. Just started following on Instagram. Well, thank you.
Cool. I need some followers. Oh, he meant you.
I can put your socials on here, Chief. We'll boost those up if you like.
Get your Q ratings up. Come on.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. We'll do that for you.
Start endorsing these products.
Right.
Wow, this is some great chapstick. Where'd you get it from?
So yeah, Andy's kid mentions a good point. Shin's character redemption arc is going the right way. Reva's redemption arc was the wrong way. And there's definitely that sense that Shin is not so far into the Sith path that she's a total villain, and we still haven't quite figured out her angle either. It's like, do you want to be a head honcho, a big wig with Empire, or not? So I'm really curious to see where they go with her in season 2. But yeah, I love the fight scene, and Ezra's like, yeah, I don't need that lightsaber, but I love the fact that Sabine was, this is your lightsaber. You gave it to me. Here. He's like, I don't need it, actually. I love that because we got to see some Clone Wars cartoon era Jedi food where he's just like, woo, woo, woo. I don't need a lightsaber. Like, push these fools away. That was cool. And the fact that he didn't have a lightsaber for the whole. Okay. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you're back.
Great. He didn't have his lightsaber for the whole galactic civil war, and it's like, yeah, I'm good. I know how to fight just fine without my lightsaber. I was wondering if he was going to make a custom version.
I mean, like he has the ability to do it because when he learns how to do it in a Rebel, but he's like, I'm at peace. I'm not fighting anybody, so why do I need a lightsaber? I mean, it's like I can just get to use the Force and train with the Force. So it's like, oh, I don't need all that extra stuff. I mean, but also when he knows there's a point. He's like, okay, maybe I could use a little something else. Then, hey, Sabine, can you take over? Because I'm gonna get my tail whooped. I guess I've forgotten how to do this.
Well, it was cool because he was just like, nope. You're not gonna. I mean, I can just keep you close. You're not Ahsoka who uses a smaller saber. You're not gonna get me as long as I'm within your saber strike distance away from me. So I love that because he just kept her really at arm's length so he could keep maneuvering around her. And then it was like they had those instincts from back in the day fighting against the stormtroopers and all, because he moved, and then she swung right in there. I was like, this is good stuff.
Yeah.
And I love that Sabine is still using her lightsaber. This is something we didn't really see with Luke Skywalker. As soon as he got to that Jedi mindset, he was like, I don't need this blaster anymore. I mean, I may use it randomly, but this lightsaber is my weapon now. And Sabine is like, I'm gonna rock with the saber, and I'm gonna rock with my guns. I'm gonna use my Beskar armor to block, not my saber. So I love that we're actually seeing her learn to be a Jedi as opposed to got it all down right now.
Yeah, like because I kind of want to get to like Empire Strike Back. Luke has evolved past the blaster. He's like, yeah, I'm more of a Jedi than just a random dude. Sabine is very much, I'm a Mandalorian, just like I was using all my tools. Like, I'll get to that Jedi thing eventually, but I'm gonna use everything to fight I got. So that's been cool.
I like the fact that she's incorporated. Like, hey, I got a flamethrower in addition to this lightsaber. Y'all better back up.
Using, like when she was like fighting like in Rebels, like when she had the dark saber, that's how she was kind of like, I got to use everything versus I'm going to stick with this dark saber and that be the end all be all.
So the Chief, during the time that this fight is going on, we got Balin, who's just sitting watching everything from a distance. Ahsoka dives down, and Yu Yang is taking control of the ship, and she's like, I don't have time for this. And he's like, well, you're not getting past me. What do you think about that duel?
The duel was good. She hit him with the smoke bomb, got away, but she bought her 2 lightsabers this time instead of the one technique that she used the last time. And she gave him a better run. I thought a better fight with the 2. I mean, if that's your style, that's your style. You know what I mean? So she went in there and she fought him, and then I think her main goal was to get to the fight anyways. So she, boom, and then next thing you know, you see this cloud of smoke, shorty gone. She was out, I'm out. But my man, and for whatever reason, he was like, I'm not following. And even Thrawn noticed that my man,
right.
He's like, yo, he hasn't engaged. He was like, yo, this probably would have gone the other way had old boy engaged. So Balin's got I don't know what his plan is. I don't know what he wants to do, what he's trying to do. But it seems that you've got to kind of step to him in order to get him to fight. Other than that, my man is just on the sidelines, just looking, not yet. Not yet. You know what I mean? So he was just watching from a distance. So we'll see what happens with that. The question I have, a lot of stuff happened this episode, right?
Lots.
But it seems like it's too much left to finish in next episode, like, right?
Yeah, dude.
Yes.
Like, they got a lot of stuff to wrap up or not wrap up.
Yeah.
So they're just gonna leave us hanging for another year. I mean,
oh yeah, this is definitely a cliffhanger.
Like, because I'm like, hold up, like, we're not even close to wrapping things up. I mean,
there were like 3 more episodes. You may say, okay, but one left. It's like even if you did 2 hours, it's still not enough to
right. I mean, they're hanging in the middle of a field with snail people. There's what's that? The Imperial ship.
The Star Destroyer.
Star Destroyer. You're not getting near the Star Destroyer with that little piece of ship you have. So I'm looking and I'm like, and he did the battle. He did all that so he could charge the cells up, which were almost charged at the end of the episode. So I'm just kind of looking like, ain't enough time. You know what I mean? And let me tell you something, man. Them whales, they got low. hey, yo. They was like, bow. They was like, let's fire it up, boys. We out.
They're like, oh, don't worry. I was like, oh, man, the poor whales are going to get shot. They're like, nah, player. Don't worry about us at all. We're out.
Like, hey, we got you here. That's what was promised. Man, the wheels they got out of there. I was like, where the wheels going?
We are your Uber drivers,
right?
And you got to your destination.
I said, you saw the tail start to light up. I was like, damn, they leaving. And sure enough, doom. I was like, So yeah, they didn't appreciate that. So yeah, it's a lot to wrap up. I think the shows are like a half an hour, 36 minutes, something like that.
I don't know. They're not long enough. I mean,
yeah. So unless this next show is an hour and a half, 2 hours. we gonna be in that joint like, and then look, that's when we get the news. Ahsoka won't be renewed.
that would almost say Disney Plus not renewed.
Right.
Ahsoka won't be renewed.
Yeah, are you sure you want to cancel? Oh yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
Jeff, can
yeah.
you bring up 80s kid about statement about Balaam?
But She-Hulk will be coming in December. You know what I mean? We'll be like, yeah. So, we'll see.
I'm extra short.
Okay.
Yeah. So we got to see what happens, man. But there's a lot to cover in this next episode, man. So I'm curious to, can't wait to get to it.
Okay. This is interesting. Like this quote here, this comment here is, if you wanted to again get to heir the Empire, you could start with. Our Balin character now takes up for Joba. He's driven mad because of what he's doing here. Thrawn's like, I can use this, and then gets to heir the Empire. Jedi Knight replacement, because he's like, hey, I've trained with your father. I know all the stuff. I was there in the Clone Wars. Like, very much, even though like Ahsoka's like, yeah, don't trust him. He's not what you think. So that could be very interesting right there. Like, that's a good thought.
Yeah. Now, what about Skeleton Crew?
What is Skeleton Crew?
That's the Jude Law one with the kids.
You're gonna have to break with that biz, because it's not Ahsoka season 2. I'm like what are you?
It was slated for a 2023 release. I don't know when that would happen. This is the one with a bunch of kids. There's at least 4 in it. I don't know how much I care about a Star Wars with kids show. Yeah, I don't know how much I care about
kids or smuggler. What we got? Is it the kid from what was that? The Force kid who gets the broom at the end of that movie? No,
that kid would be much older, by the way. So 80s kid is feeling your idea off of his idea.
Yeah.
You guys can collaborate on the script and send it off to him.
We'll pitch it out.
All right, so yes, it is. That's exactly what it looks like from that trailer of Star Wars Con.
Oh, same.
Remember that one? They did a really quick trailer. And if you were focused like me, sitting there watching the entire thing, like, oh, okay, Jude Law, that could be cool. I don't know. But after Ahsoka, I don't know. I'm kind of like, I need Ahsoka 2, Rebels live action 1. We'll call it a night. And it'll be a nice, hey, let's renew that deal. Let's go into really fast. Looks like the director for next week is Rick Famuyiwa. I feel like I butchered his name. He's done lots of episodes of Mandalorian, and that's a really good sign. Let me see the ones that he's directed, so you can be like, oh, okay, he did that one. He did The Child. He did The Child. Okay. He did The Prisoner. He did The Believer season 2.
Oh yeah, great episode for The Believer.
That's the one where old boy and Jaren went to the prison. And they blew up everything at the Imperial prison outpost, Kara and Fennec.
Yeah, I was gonna say it if you didn't. Yeah.
You know what? You can get lost.
Okay, so you're saying he's like seasoned in big episodes of Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So he's gonna be doing the season finale. That should be a good thing. Okay. So looking forward to that. All right. So I still have not changed my tune. I think at this point, Ahsoka is now right alongside Mandalorian season 2 as the best live action Star Wars we've got, unless something goes terribly, terribly wrong next week. And I thought was really funny. I've been so conditioned by crappy, terrible storytelling when Ezra's all happy and going, it's so great to see you guys. He hugs Ahsoka and he goes, now I'm really going to get home. I'm like, oh, man, somebody's going to come behind him with a lightsaber. Someone's going to shoot him. And I realized how conditioned I am to terrible stories. Because it was like, nope, nothing like that. It's just a wide shot. Let's get to the ship. Let's be out.
Again, that's how you actually write. Not what is it? R-rated content. It's like you should actually by the end. Actually, hey, it's okay for your heroes to get home safely. Like that's what you you don't need to have them. But I gotcha. You're like, hey, I'm done. Like I am like if this has the ending kind of like Mandalorian season 3 and they just kind of get rid of Thrawn at the last part of this episode, then I'm definitely gonna change my tune on this. Like,
well, what's gonna really mess you up is that Ahsoka dreamed all this through the Force. She never even left the first when she got the Coruscant. She never even left out of her room that night. She's just been meditating all these episodes. So
for all of you who don't know, I'm sure one of Chief's least favorite actual fight scenes in a movie is the end of what is that show? Twilight.
Man, I mean, did you even have? He was going to in a second. Twilight, you hear the disdain?
No, I own that movie, but
he's upset still.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. I think about that randomly from time to time, from out of nowhere. It just pisses me off. I'll just be like, because in my mind I was like, man, this is the greatest ending to a movie ever. And then, gotcha.
I like that. I like that fight scene, Chief. That was.
Oh
fun.
yeah,
I did, man.
You like being fooled for 20 minutes.
They were killing everybody in that thing,
but they weren't.
That was the idea of that. I like to talk to people who read the books. Like, oh yeah, they didn't describe anything. It just said it was a dream. It's like, oh gosh, that would have sucked. But again, I wasn't the target audience for probably the books. But for the movie, it was like, oh, we've lost that person. Oh, that was a major character. Okay. Oh wow. And then, oh no, it didn't happen. But that's a thing to do too.
Thing elsewhere.
Snake Eyes is
Snake Eyes. You are right. We all do. We all hate Twilight, and that ending was a shaft. I feel like at the ending of that, they should have just handed you a free popcorn in your movie bag. Here's a meaty popcorn with extra butter, man. We're sorry. And here's your money back. You know what I mean? Thanks for coming out. Yeah. It's like that's what that Krampus.
Is that really what happened with that elsewhere? I never watched that.
Oh god.
Outside of what mom and dad would play.
Yeah.
I don't remember this Masters of the Universe Revelation show. Oh, Evelyn killed people? That's all good. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, what was it? Like, what was it? The G.I. Joe one they did, where basically they took out Retaliation. Was that the one? I'm talking about the animated one where they basically start killing everybody like every 5 minutes.
Well, they had everybody. I think they had less voice actors than Young Justice season 4. Everyone sounded the same. Anyway, all right, let's move on to the news of the week. The Writers Guild strike against this Hollywood Studios is officially over. The writers are back in business, which means we're about to see some really quality shows coming back on the airwaves. Or more reality shows.
Hey, it's giving the writers time to breathe. Then they're going to be so happy to be back to work. They're going to be energized. They know they got they're actually getting money for streamers now, which they're going to be like, okay, this keeps me in business. This keeps my health insurance. I am ready to go.
Or maybe they're so jaded after losing the credit score dropping to 400, apartments being lost, cars being towed off. You know what I mean? That when they come back to work, they're just pissed. And they just start giving us the lowest quality they can. You know what I mean? Snarf. So we just gonna get some cut for the next 3 months, just so they can.
It might take them a little while to get their sea legs back. Huh?
Yeah. Get from out of that tent. You know what I mean? When you're living in a tent writing, you tend to be a little angry. So, and I ain't gonna lie, you know, if I was off work for what is it? We would say 5 months.
5 months, yeah.
If I was off work for 5 months, I'd be okay. But a lot of people wouldn't be. A lot of people would be like, yo, I'm gonna have to move out of my house. Mama, how's that basement looking? You know, And God forbid your mama don't got a basement. You know what I mean? So you know what I mean? You remember how it was trying to sneak a girl in your mama's house? Is that you, baby? You know, yeah, mama, that's me. Okay, your drawers is in the sink soaking. You know what I mean? She's just playing. You know,
Are you talking to somebody?
No. Right. You know. So, yeah, that's gonna bring some rough times, man.
Snake Eyes asked a question for y'all. How do the prices went up? Sometimes you can't even buy food.
I'm sure some of them folks, I mean, their bank accounts were very dry, and they're like, I am ready to get back on any show that will have me. Like, if you want me to write for the Daily Show and all the late night comedians, we must be having some technical difficulties.
You know him, man.
You're fine. Know. I just had to turn my fan on.
Yeah. You know,
wanted to see
he will disappear on you in a minute. My man,
letting you talk.
He got Ahsoka on you, just smoke, and he's riding off the other direction. But yeah, man, it's hard out here, man. And 5 months of no pay. Like I told y'all the episode before last, man, strikes ain't they ain't easy, man, because them bills don't stop. And it's not like they was like, okay, listen, hold on, we're gonna we're gonna subsidize everything, man. We're gonna take care of you too. You know what I mean? Till you get off.
Hey, this is the time you call the credit card company. Hey, I work for this. Yeah. I will get you.
You know what they say? The payment is due still on the 21st. They don't care. Nobody cares.
You don't care.
Nobody cares. So let me tell you something. 5 months, yeah. Nobody cares. You in your car, they ride. Look, they running Uber. They delivering Instacart. You got to get that Joe job. You hate it.
That Joe job.
Name tag.
You know what used to be? No, I did just get
right. Not ID. Name tag. You know.
All right, so that was by far the biggest news of Hollywood. Jace, you shared that the late night talk show hosts are going to be back in action real soon.
Yeah, they're like, I think John Oliver said he's coming back on Sunday because it's like, they'd be like, I've got jokes on jokes for 5 months that have just been sitting here and I've not gotten paid on it. So now it's like, hey, if you would like to record like 5 shows today, sign us up as long as we get paid. Like, all the late night people, they're like, hey, sign us up, we're ready to go.
What are they gonna do? A variety show?
I mean, at some point they were trying to do that, kind of to help their staff. I don't know if they did a podcast or something, but out of strikes over, they're like, okay, back to work, guys. Nobody's gonna complain. It's like, just put your suit and tie on, make nice and make some jokes.
It's not like they're gonna have Chris Evans coming. Hey guys, what's going on? I've got this new project. It was a blast. I really enjoyed working with insert director's name here, and my co-star insert name here was fantastic. We got along great. I think everybody's gonna love it. Chris Evans, everybody.
Here's a story on the set. This was funny.
Yeah,
we were on the set, and
tell us about it. Tell us.
And then something funny happened. It was really funny time.
That's so great. Chris Evans, everybody. Go see a movie.
Yeah. I mean, but what you're probably going to have is basically like everybody's going to pull like a John Oliver and literally just go monologue for an hour straight with commercials. I mean, 44 minutes straight with commercials. And they'll have a lot of stuff. Yeah.
They had to end this thing, though, because Drew Barrymore got upset. She was like, I got to stop my show. They was like, yo, y'all done pissed off Drew. We're gonna end.
Y'all let people hate Drew Barrymore. Like, come on, let's be honest. That actually got the studio heads like, okay, we're jumping out here. We're doing wrong.
Yeah, come on, it's true.
It's dirty. What are we doing?
Like, she was in ET for God's sake. Come on.
You know what I mean? You can't upset Drew. It's Hollywood royalty. So good news. The show's coming back.
I know you'll be watching. Have it set on your DVR.
Look, I've been recording it every day. I get home, I get a bag of Twizzlers, and I see who's Drew's next guest, man. I'm in my big slippers, my Power Ranger slippers. So,
extreme.
You know what I mean?
I couldn't even tell you what of our local affiliates show Drew Barry is on.
Pretty sure she's still on Channel 4. Anyway.
Oh, sure.
Well, now, I hope you're ready for the homework assignment that I gave you. a few minutes ago. And I had calculated Javon was gonna be on, so we had like 20. But I was going through Netflix and Disney Plus the other day, and I was just looking at the random movies, and I was thinking, man, this was a really good movie. Why didn't they ever get back around to making a sequel? I mean, they're terrible movies. They get sequels all the time. Why did this really good movie not get a second crack at it? I was thinking, yeah, that sounds like something we should discuss and talk about. So I was like, hey, let's come up with a list of movies that should have never gotten a sequel, that nobody needed, asked for, wanted. What were some that would have been just better off left in our memory? Like, man, that was a really good movie. Why didn't they do a sequel to it? So, in the interest of fairness, and just to shake things up, really, Chief, why don't you give me one movie that should not have gotten a sequel and one that should
have? Should not have. I've got Basic Instinct 2. Hey, was that a load of malarkey?
You know I mean? I did see that movie.
Yes, you did.
Instinct 2, bro. One was fantastic. Basic Instinct 2, man. Wow. I don't even know what they just was like, you know what? We just gonna throw something together, give it to the people, man. I think sometimes movies become unexpectedly hit unexpectedly, and they don't know what to do.
But that movie, how long was it between that sequel and the first one?
That is definitely breaking the Chief rule too.
Right. Grab Mike from the mail room. Tell him to throw the script together. And Mike from the mail room wrote that joint, man. And that joint was some cut.
Was 92. The sequel came out in 2006.
That's 16 years wasn't the way to go.
No, but the hilarious part is, I'm just checking now. One of the main characters was the governor for The Walking Dead, David Morrissey. I remember he was in that movie, and I'm sure he's hopeful that no one remembers it.
Yep. So yeah, well, you already know one. You already know my.
Do I? She.
We were hoping you were going to be on to say.
Come on.
Say it all at once. Count of three.
All right.
1, 2, 3.
Man of Steel.
You fellas know me so well.
Yeah, I mean that was the easiest of all of these that I knew you were going to have.
You knew I was going to have. Nobody took it because they knew I was going to have it. And they
Absolutely.
knew I
didn't bother putting it down.
About Man of Steel. And I love that movie. And I wanted a sequel so bad. And I got buckets. We got Basic Instinct 2. So, yeah. So no Man of Steel. And now DC has shown you why Man of Steel 2 hasn't come out. Matter of fact, Blue Beetle is on video now. I can get it from
Max already?
Already. Yeah, because I heard the lines were around the corner. They just had to extend it to the people from the people at home. Because everybody was like, Blue Beetle, hell yeah. So now you've got Blue Beetle at the house, man. I'm gonna rent it this weekend and watch it.
Nah, Chief, the thing is you never need to rent a DC movie. Just wait another month or so for it to show up on Max. That's what I did with Shazam Fury of the Gods. And it's like, you guys don't get any money because of your ineptness. We're doing a whole new universe. And none of these movies of 2023 are going to matter.
Oh, yeah. We got 5 more movies coming down the pipe. But they may come to our new universe if you pay.
Isn't this part of the new crew? The Blue Beetle?
If it makes enough money.
They've been saying that since Shazam. If it makes enough money, we'll probably extend it into the new universe. If Flash makes enough money, we'll probably incorporate him into the new universe because that's really easy.
One dude who should have been nowhere near a new universe. Like, you shouldn't even threaten that. That's a threat. That's not.
But according to what Flash did, according to what Blue Beetle did, didn't Black Adam now kick ass?
Yeah, it did.
Like they were laughing at Black Adam. Now Rock is sitting somewhere with a cigar. Like, yeah, laugh now. You know what I mean? You know, ripping his cast off, talking about some daddy's got to go to work. You know what I mean? So yeah, The Rock has officially he gets the last laugh after all.
All right, so let's see. 80s Kid says the first Bayformer should not have had a sequel, should not have had a movie. But,
you give it too much credit.
Exactly. All right, Jace, what you got, bro? 1 and 1.
Okay.
We'll keep going until we run out.
Okay. My movie that did not need a sequel is Anchorman. Anchorman was hilarious.
Yeah, I agree with that one.
And just it's like, hey, we got something here, thanks, but we don't need. It's like when somebody pitched them, it's like, I mean, it's been like 10 years. I'm sure this will work out perfectly. Yeah, let's just do a musical.
Yeah, it went off the rails. and not like a slow off the rails. That thing headed like that was a Japanese. One of those Japanese bullet trains off the rail. It was just like, you know what? We're just gonna go crazy with this one.
Right to the rail. Right to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
All right, what you got next?
And actually, I'm gonna use that. Good segue, Chi. I'm actually gonna use the movie that should have got a sequel. Is Train to Busan.
I thought you were going to say Money Train.
Hey, yeah. Yep.
Oh, okay. I was just slightly off. Okay, guys.
Yeah. Train to Busan, that was good, man. They could have done a couple of zombie movies based off of that one, man.
I mean, that's what is it? I don't know if you guys watched All of Us Are Dead on Netflix, but that's it references Train to Busan, but it's like this is very much a successful kind of movie to that, but Train to Busan it's like that's a great zombie movie, and you could have definitely expanded that out to however you wanted it to go. And I mean, as long as you didn't try and have like a super team that can avoid the zombies, and it'd have been great to go.
After Child wants to know, She-Hulk did not get a season 2. Does that count? It should not, but I think we're being threatened with a season 2. So preemptively, I'm going to say you're right. It does not need a season 2.
Do you just like call Bob Iger like, if I can find a Twitter and email, you wanted to get rid of MCU movie crap? Right here in the pocket, right here, crap. Get rid of it.
Watch me. The Snake Eyes says Frozen and Twilight do not deserve a sequel. Now we know Snake Eyes hates Twilight. It's on record already. But I like the Twilight series, and I think right up until Breaking Dawn Part 2, Chief, you like Twilight as well.
It was okay for what it was, but that last movie ruined it for everything. Ruined the whole snippable. It was yeah, man. Don't upset me, Jeff.
Yeah. Like, again, I always say like the second movie is probably my least favorite because it really goes like Bella crying like the first half of the movie. I'm like, okay, can we get her to the next part? Like, it's over. Come on.
Here's Buff Jacob. What are you talking about? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to go with my set. Then there's a very hot take in there that I absolutely need to address. Okay. All right, so my first one that needed a sequel, no, that did not need a sequel was, where'd I go? There's so many that I want to go with. I'll go with this first. Jurassic Park. Don't make any more synthetic DNA dinosaurs. I mean, it's just like, I don't understand why that's a whole thing. This time we've got better gates. I understand it made a lot of money, but there's no way that makes sense past the first film.
I mean,
bringing it to an island of dinosaurs. What could possibly go wrong this time?
They kept flying over the island with crappy equipment. Which helicopter we gonna take? They take the new one, or we gonna take the old junker? Man, take the junker. They don't make it over the island.
Right.
And next thing you know, I mean, like how many things crashed into the island? Like at what point in time do you
all
take,
the things.
right?
I mean,
At what point in time do you take the good copter?
I hate to say this, but at some point they would have said, "All right, who are the scientists that can do this? Oh, here's 5 of them. We're gonna put them in jail now, just so they ever have this idea again."
I mean, right? They really, in reality, the Army or the Navy would have set up a perimeter around the island that you couldn't get through, and they would have shot anything down that tried to fly over the island. There's no way in the world that island would have been free to fly over. You know what I mean? Commercial planes would have had to. I mean, come on, man. This is it just got crazy. It got crazier and crazier. You know, it's Jurassic Park became Fast and Furious with dinosaurs. You know what I mean?
Well, Fast and Furious was good.
No, what I'm saying, like the dinosaurs got crazier, they got bigger, more extreme, more like they were.
It's amazing you say this, and I'm like, this is why I never watched any of those sequels, because I'm like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, why would you do this? Like, it's like if you say like 20 years after the first one, and then somebody literally comes up like, hey, we've seen what they did wrong. We're going to X, Y, and Z to eliminate the problem. But it's got to be a long distance. It can't be 5 years. It's got to be like, all right, these were stupid geniuses. We are smarter geniuses. And it makes perfect sense. And we have great security contractors. If you don't have that, it's stupid.
Right. The security was weak. They kept crossing the genes of a T-Rex and a Velociraptor. Like, what are you doing?
Let's make them smarter. That's going to work.
Right. And then the dude was like, you could see it thinking. Yeah, okay, bro. And then the safety checks to get into the enclosure. Like, yeah. It's just like that's just because I be sitting in the movie theaters irritated, man. Because I be like, why
gosh, how long was it before? Did you watch that in the theater?
I watched the first 2 in the theater, I believe. Mm-hmm. The rest of them kind of more so on video. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And then I'm not sure.
Did you watch these new ones? I with Chris.
No, I haven't seen the newest one. I didn't go watch, man. I didn't see that either. I feel like
why is there a third one?
Right, it got loose in the U.S., right?
Yeah, I think it took over the world at some point.
They need to escalate that thing where like some military faction takes dinosaurs to go after their enemies. That would have escalated it fine and be like, okay, there's a reason for them being out in the wild. Otherwise, as an amusement park, it never made sense. Yeah. So that's my first never needed sequel. My one that didn't need a sequel is Solo. Solo was fine. It was one of those movies, I don't know, people were like, oh man, I need to know the origins of Han Solo. But I thought the movie was good. It was fun. And it seemed like that had room to explore Han's origins further beyond, hey, let's check off all the things that you think we should have in a Han Solo movie. And I felt like they were really establishing something different with him. I was like, this is cool. They could have done further, but I think they got scared with the backlash and just being caught up in the overall, these sequel trilogies, not great. I really think that's one that could still get one. And we got a Lando series coming on Disney Plus at some point. Hopefully Han makes a cameo so they can bring him back and, have a little bit more appreciation. Now, this leads me to the hottest comment here in the chat. Blake says, hot take, it is scorching. Scorched earth. We all love Empire, but Star Wars did not need a sequel. Then we wouldn't be in the mess we're in now. Or no more movies after Empire if Empire was a 3.5-hour movie. All right, so I got to say, I love all the original trilogies. I love the prequel trilogies because I look at Phantom Menace more as the origins of Palpatine and how he's manipulating everything. So I appreciate it from that. This is pod racing. Don't care about that, but I care all about Palpatine's machinations. I love Rogue One, so Rogue One's got to be included. And then Mandalorian, Ahsoka, Obi-Wan Kenobi. There's so much stuff that's been good about Star Wars. If I could just forget about 3 movies that don't matter in the grand scheme of anything anyway. So I think I agree in the sense that Star Wars didn't have to have a sequel, but I'm so glad they did because it was great. Thoughts, bro?
I think if it did not get a sequel, we would have been clamoring why they didn't get a sequel. I think that because and then some hack writer would have tried to, I can make a sequel to it, and it would have you would have got the sequel trilogy, frankly. Somebody was like, "Oh yeah, I know. There's the Han guy and the Luke girl, and the Leia dude. Like, yeah. Like that's what you get. Like, yeah, because I mean, Hollywood could not pass up that kind of money. I mean, it's like I am not saying this, but if you didn't need a technical Indiana Jones Part 2, you could have had cool. It was cool, but if you didn't get a sequel, you're not losing sleep. But because it makes so much money, they have to make a sequel. And that was Star Wars. Star Wars made way too much money to not get a sequel.
Chief, what do you think?
Well, I mean, the original one's fine. I think the newer ones would have best been served as Clone Wars. You could have done the introduction to Skywalker, Anakin, and then started off with the Clone Wars, and there could have been a Clone Wars 1, 2, and 3, right? Because a lot of that was, we didn't need a lot of what happened. A lot of what happened could have been included in the Clone Wars, the important stuff. And then we could have had a 1, 2, or 3 of the Clone Wars, and then we might not have ever gotten into this predicament with this crap that we got now. I'm just saying.
Chief, Attack of the Clone and Revenge of the Sith are basically Clone Wars.
Nah, but no, it's not. Because if you watch Clone Wars, like a whole new universe is opened up, right? You got the sisters.
You're watching Clone Wars.
Darth Maul. You got Darth Maul's brother. You got. Well, I'm just saying, right? So
You're not.
And off of this is where you get your rebels or whatever, right? So you got the Bad Batch. You got all these different things that you could have incorporated into the Clone Wars. You know what I mean? Different fights, different sections. There's always a good lightsaber fight going on. You could have, and then all that stuff that was happening, the fights we never saw or whatever, or the interactions with Palpatine and Dooku and all that, General Grievous, all that could have been included in the Clone Wars. Those were actually Clone War things. Mm-hmm. So all that extra nonsense we got from those joints, we could have just eliminated and just made them straight Clone War movies. Action, we've got battles, we've got different takes from the enemies. I think by doing the way they did, it's almost like when you watch a movie versus reading a book, right? So much information got lost in those movies. Like, I would have never known the Clone Wars was as big as they were had you not start watching the Clone Wars, right? Because I'm not a Star Wars aficionado. I don't, you know what I mean? I don't read the books. Right. So all these things that happened, I would have never known they happened. But if you had a Clone War movie, there's thousands of scenarios you could have went to. You could have learned about new Jedi Masters that, like, when we saw the Jedi Masters get killed, like, we had no affiliation. We knew Qui-Gon, we knew Mace, we knew Yoda. We didn't know, like, for example, when the old boy jumped in there and kick Fisto. Mm-hmm. You didn't even know he was supposed to be good with his lightsaber. The old boy defeated him so easily. Like, you didn't know these people. You didn't know these players in the game. So when they all started getting mowed down, you was just like, oh, okay, yeah, damn, they're getting them. But you had no feelings towards them in a sense. Mm-hmm. The younglings, right? Other than that one time when Anakin hit the joint, the little joints, you know, and then they cut it. But if you had gotten to know some of the youngins, these things would have hit on a different level had you seen the movie behind them. You got to know these Jedis. You got to know different things. I remember the one girl. You never knew the one girl. She had the long tails like the general.
Bears.
I don't even know her name. That's what I'm telling you. So she was like, "Come on!" Turned around. They just hit her in the back.
Oh yeah.
But these are the things I'm saying. Like, if you had a Clone Wars, you could have focused at different points on different characters, different missions, different things they did.
I think it worked out the right way, Chief, because we needed to care about Anakin. If we had no care about him, and it's really important to see that he was a part of this whole Jedi thing. He got brought into it. And because of that, because they're breaking the rules to bring him in and then not making sure that, hey, this could be the chosen one. We need to take care of him, knowing that we took him from his mama and that he's already gotten bonds. He cares about people in a way that our young children aren't attached to anybody. And they just let him spin out on his own. They at least put him with Obi-Wan, but Obi-Wan's kind of like, well, maybe there's some stuff the Jedi are doing that aren't great, but I'm following along with him. And to see him start to question things, I think it strengthens the whole Clone Wars, because if I'm seeing this play out in a movie or 3 movies, I'm not as invested in the Clone Wars series. And we get so many movies out of the Clone Wars. I don't really care that it's cartoon, CGI, whatever. I think it's so well done that I'm along with the ride. It's like I'm watching 12, 14 movies over the course of the Clone Wars series. And that's even if I skip through a random boring Ahsoka episode, it's so much greatness. And then it's like, okay, now I get to go watch Revenge of the Sith. Awesome. I feel like we wouldn't have gotten that if they had just jumped to the Clone Wars. It would have been like, oh, great, it's a big trilogy of fights. And they would have been awesome, but not as awesome as starting off the threat of everything that's about to go wrong with the ending of Attack of the Clones. And then, oh, shoot, now I can watch this. I can sit in for a long marathon and watch Clone Wars. And it's amazing. And, oh, yeah, Clone Wars is finally wrapping up now. Okay, let me watch Revenge of the Sith. Wow, it got even worse than I thought. Now let's see some sparks, some embers of hope with Rebels. Then I'm going to jump to Rogue One. Oh, man, I'm all set now to see Luke finally make this thing right watching Return of the Jedi.
So you don't think they could have incorporated that part into...
It was like you needed like a long form way to do the Clone Wars. I think that's.
Well, I think they could have figured it out. I think Anakin and the main character still could have been the main. I just think you could have learned about the secondary characters. I just think watching people die and not giving a shit or knowing who they are when you're watching a movie just doesn't add to it.
Let's say it's like if you like when you're initially doing it, you need that first. Then you get that supplemental material. And then after you get the supplemental material, like, oh, I can't watch this. Like, I can't go from I can go from Phantom Menace to Attack of Clones, but I can't go from Attack of Clones to Revenge of the Sith. It's like that's not happening anymore. I have to sit. I am all in for the Clone Wars and give me that. And it's like I need the original Clone Wars, and then and then the newer Clone Wars, and then I'm like, okay, now I can do Sith because I got all the necessary supplemental material. And then when everything goes bad in Sith, oh dang, like I'm feeling it then. And
you guys are the experts. I just felt like there should have been more.
Oh no, I mean, like let's say it's like Clone Wars is still is that point, and then I think that's why we get like when we saw what was it, Shadow Warrior. That's when we were like, you guys threw it out there. We didn't do this. Make it happen. Like you guys live action this thing. Like do that now. Right. And it's like, oh, we got this movie with Rey. No, you don't. You got this. Like stop what you're doing. Hey, I am one of them people. I do not think any of these sequel trilogy actors did anything wrong. They got crap scripts. Like Daisy Ridley,
John Boyega,
Oscar Isaac. I don't. And I'm sorry. And what's Rose Tico's?
Kelly Mart.
Kelly Marie Tran. Like they did nothing wrong. They got crap scripts. People who should never have been touching anything. Like that is all. They signed on for movies and unfortunately got them some idiots who didn't know, hey, it's not them. It's literally, there's people you should be pointing the fingers at. It's not the actors. Like,
all right. So, Chamberlain, what's going on? Smokey and the Bandit and Jaws. Are you putting them in as films that did not need sequels or what? Help me out.
Jaws 2 is pretty consistent on the list of movies. How are you going to pull a sequel out of Jaws? Like seriously, like
go to another place. Go to another beach. How could that
come
be?
On, you're not taking this out. Come on.
All right. So we have some choices on here that I have, so I'm going to hold off on them just yet. After Child says Space Jam.
That's also a lot of
Shayla says 100% on Space Jam. First one was good, but the second one was horrible.
Yeah.
And hopefully you didn't say this, Chief, but RoboCop 2. Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat was so good. I mean, hey, I was a fan, and then that sequel, it was just like, did y'all have any budget to make this movie like at all? Like, we greenlit it off that first weekend, but we only got the first weekend budget, so make it happen. Yeah. So
I'm catching up to the comments because we were going on so long. So let's see. Solo was great. Thank you. Yeah, Solo was awesome.
I think honestly they should. I don't want to say you can't re-release it because it's already, but I think they should try and like, hey, let's see if we can get these actors back. Like, let's try. Oh, not saying a sequel, but let's throw them out at the cons, see what the reaction is. Like, does people really hate this movie as much as we think? Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, it was a lot of stuff.
Oh, okay.
I'm just looking through all these comments. I was like, man, okay, I was talking too long. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry. I Palpatine is, I mean, it's like you get the big stories, but Palpatine is the sequel. I mean, the prequels. It's his machinations are literally like, even just two there are. One master, one apprentice. And we don't even know the master sitting right beside us. Like, like that kind of stuff. It is like you saw the four main characters and you're like, this senator dude? It's like, nope, just hanging here. Jedi Master, Grand Master sitting right beside me. Has no clue who I am. Like that, you get all that. I can't miss that. That's why I love it. Okay.
All right, James, what you got next?
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna go with a movie that should not have gotten a sequel. Harold and Kumar. Like, I watched the second one. Man, I was like, okay, that's it. But then when they decided, let's have Harold and Kumar ruin Christmas or whatever the heck that was, it was like, hey, let's have Neil Patrick Harris cash a whole lot of checks to make this movie. It's like, seriously, we needed to dial back the Neil Patrick Harris a whole lot in that movie. It was like, seriously, like you had a fun thing. It was really good. But once again, you're like, nah, we can do it again. We can run it back. No, you just like it was, I want to say it was stoner comedy because it wasn't. It was, but like it was the first movie. I own it. It's hilarious. But that second one was like,
they ended up in Guantanamo Bay or something.
That is where they end up.
Yeah.
Yes, that is.
All right, what's your one that needed a sequel?
All right. I'm gonna go with one that you guys probably, I know one person in the chat might go with, but Alita Battle Angel. Like Alita seemed like it was like, okay, it was like mixing a good mix of like anime in live action, and it was like, okay, this is going somewhere. It could be cool. And then you had this like cliffhanger at the end with the who we find out is the big bad, and you're like, okay, that's the guy in charge. I'm down to see what y'all can do from here. And then it's just like, no, I don't know if it didn't make enough money. Or
It's supposed to be coming out with a sequel.
Is it real or is it one of those kind of?
No, I mean, I heard that they're supposed to be making it. I mean, I enjoyed, especially when her boyfriend got chopped up at the end. I enjoyed that. But they're supposed to be doing a sequel.
I think it's a
good movie.
Yeah, well,
I agree with you, Chase. You are the man.
Oh, okay, all right, good job. All right, yeah, me. All right, thanks, gentlemen.
Chief, what you got next?
Didn't need a sequel. Teen Wolf 2.
Oh gosh,
yeah. Bro. Jason Bateman, and I love Jason Bateman.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Didn't love him in Teen Wolf 2 though. Didn't love Teen Wolf 2. Stupid. They was boxing now. They're boxers in the arm. They would have scurried that boy so quick and dissected him. It was stupid, man. the first one was that quirky 80s type. We could get away with it. It's the 80s. The second joint was just like, oh, come on, man. What are we doing here?
Like we can't get Michael J. Fox, but we can get Jason Bateman.
I think Michael J. Fox was like, nah. Look at the rest
Of course he did.
Like,
not doing this, man.
Jason Bateman was probably, he wasn't that known back then. He needed to come up. But Michael J. Fox, yeah. Yeah. See, Snake Eyes knows, they gonna make a sequel to Alita. But yeah, that Teen Wolf 2 was garbage.
All right, what needed a sequel?
True Lies.
Oh, I watched that.
True Lies, man. That movie was hilarious. Back when you had Schwarzenegger at his peak. What's my man? Tom Arnold. Hilarious.
Oh yeah, he was really good at that.
And an incredible, sexy, and beautiful
Jamie
Lee Curtis. You even had what's her name? Eliza
Duku.
Yeah, in the movie. True Lies 2 might have been a great little joint, man. Them together on a mission.
Gives that Mr. and Mrs. Smith vibe.
Yeah, before Mr. and Mrs. Smith. What was their code names? Oh, because
I don't remember. It's been too long. I need to watch it again.
Wow.
Oh man, yeah, man. Anyways, it was a good movie, man. I enjoyed it. It is what it is, man. They should have made a sequel though.
All right, I've got two that have been repeated in the chat, so definitely want to make sure I address them. But I had them on my list, so did not need a sequel. And Jamie, there's no need for a question mark here. Absolutely, the Matrix.
Exactly.
Definitely, yeah. Just did not need a sequel. I mean, that first one, it is absolutely a film that if they had never made a sequel, I said, oh, why did they ever make a sequel to The Matrix? And then we got him. It was like, huh. And I don't know what happened. There were cool moments in the sequels. Oops. There were cool moments in both films, but I felt like they got a little bit too
CGI.
Yeah, bad CGI. Two, let's go deep and philosophical with the movie. This is really about just being the one and doing cool stuff. Maybe a little slow motion here. Whoa. They got too caught up on the mumbo jumbo instead of just having a cool pseudo superhero running around in this alternate reality world. So
what you're saying is we need machines to live, and the machines need us to live.
No. And that fourth one, oh, awful.
What are you talking about?
I'm never watching that one again. I mean, I own the other two, and they're not bad. I mean, they're like, all right, I'll watch them because I have them. And they've got enough cool scenes. It's like, yeah, that's fine. But, man, it would have been just as well to just have one and call it a night. And my one that needed a sequel, and Blake is dead on with this. I don't know how this happened, but Flash Gordon, I mean.
How did y'all take that one?
How do you not have Flash Gordon?
I thought that was like, oh, nobody's going to take it.
Yeah. You're the only one that would think that one. Gordon, yes. That's a sequel requirement based on the ending. Wonder how many movies had an ending that specifically set up a sequel as per the last scene. Yeah. And they put a question mark. So it was like, yes, answer the question. So we didn't get that. Apparently, Sam Jones didn't get along with either the producer or the director. I feel like we could have gotten a new director or producer. Let's make that money rolling. But yeah, I mean, jeez.
Flash.
I feel like they could have knocked out 2 or 3 sequels for Flash Gordon and been just fine. Could have introduced my man, the Lion Man, in there. Jeez,
Damn, Flash Gordon done fell by the wayside. You don't even hear Flash Gordon anymore.
Whatever, man.
Kid nowadays wouldn't even know who the hell Flash Gordon is.
You could have used like Defenders of the Earth and gotten to a great Flash Gordon movie.
Defenders. All right, let's see here because the chat is buzzing again.
All right, chat.
Oh, good stuff. So let's see. Chief, as we used to say in LA in the 90s, you ain't never lied.
Hey, man. You know what I mean? I'm going to give it to you straight, bro.
Incredibles did not need a sequel. It probably didn't, but I liked Incredibles 2 enough. They need to stop making Home Alone movies. I thought they had
No, like they did.
They
I mean,
did?
like the first one was like, okay, this is cute. The second one was like, wait, you left your kid in an airport and no one decides to go back. Hey, like we're checking passports, tickets. Like, oh, we forgot one. We'll try later. Like, no, like you're not going on the connecting flight without the dude. Like, what are
You
you
know how
doing?
much those tickets cost?
Man, I'm going back to get this dude. Like, come on.
Stick
I don't
man's
care if
here.
we gotta get a taxi or whatever. I gotta pedal. I'm not wasting this cross continental flight. No, that's stupid. Yeah.
Stickman says, I agree that Incredibles didn't need a sequel, especially not the one we got. Yeah.
I thought I liked that one.
It's fine. It's just not a, oh man, that really satisfied the Incredibles sequel. It was kind of like they did the same thing as the first one.
Yeah, I remember they kind of just flipped the mom versus the dad in the second one.
Yeah. Or I wanted to see the team, not just Elastigirl doing her own thing, leaving the rest of them out. Now, Blake has an interesting one. Coming to America needed a sequel back in the 80s. Yeah, if only they had decided to make a sequel to Coming to America.
Man, I really wish they had. That was a great movie. I really don't know why they didn't come back.
I don't even know. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm going to say this. I don't actually think they did need a sequel.
It was perfect the way it was.
Yep. They got married. It's your end of your rom-com, raunchy rom-com, and we would have been fine.
I don't know.
Just watched Flash Gordon this past weekend. Oh, it is
the 80s joint?
Flash Gordon, yeah.
Wow, man.
Chief, if you have now watched that movie in a while, like it literally gives you.
I haven't watched it since the 80s, bro.
Whoa, stop right there. Okay, all right. So now I've decided on our next movie night, we're gonna watch Flash Gordon because I haven't watched that since the 80s.
The last time I saw it was the 80s.
Done.
I didn't even know that they had it and you could watch it.
Oh gosh, wow. Okay, yeah, that's done. And yeah, Blake, yeah. Flash Gordon watch party. All caps, we're gonna do that. Yeah. We need to figure out your schedule, Chief, because that's on the menu now. Just like meat's on the menu, Flash Gordon watch party.
Oh shoot. Flash Gordon.
Oh, you better believe it.
Honestly, I think you'll have a much better appreciation of that movie as an adult.
Like, really?
Yeah. Yes. I really think you will.
Okay.
It's funny because you're right. It's they don't care that they're a comic strip inspiration. It's like, here's all the gaudiness you could possibly ask for.
Hawkman, the Lizardman.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. My man Blake.
Yeah, listen, I it's on the spot, but what's Friday, Saturday like, fellas? You here? You in town? Going around the world?
I can't. I forgot what.
Well, Friday is usually bath day.
Saturday.
Oh man. Am I doing anything Friday night? I don't think so. Probably not. I don't like going outside anymore. I just like to yell at the world through my blinds. Hey,
get off my lawn.
Get off my grass. I'm Stanley now. I guess it could be, but I can't do a 4-hour Gordon.
No, it's Flash Gordon. Maybe
right
2 hours.
It's exactly the right length for Flash Gordon.
Yeah, they did not stretch that movie trying to be philosophical.
And that's one that won't feel like it's any time. Looking up how long it is for you. Good gosh, get to the point already. It is an hour and 51 minutes, but I feel like some of that is just credits. So, Friday, Flash Gordon, watch party.
See if the chat is down with it. So say if the chat, you know what I mean? So saith the shepherd, so saith the flock. You know what I mean? That's probably another movie that didn't need a sequel, but it was still the first one was damn good.
So, Chief, the chat is ready for Friday's Flash Gordon watch party. 7 or 8?
No.
Hey, Jason, what time, man?
I'm about to say if possible, I can do 7.
All right, we'll do 7.
Yeah.
All right, cool. 7 o'clock. Flash Gordon.
Okay.
Friday watch party. I'll send the. I'll make an early post on it because it'll be locked in.
What is it on?
I'll have to track it down. I have the Blu-ray.
I don't own a Flash Gordon DVD or anything.
We may have to ship you out a Amazon Prime version of it so you can get to it. What would it be on?
Man, I gotta look.
Right.
All right, well, you look.
I'm in a room. I don't have a DVD. Do I have a? You know what? I might have a DVD. I
wonder if it's on Prime, Jace.
I got an Xbox. What's the Xbox before this last Xbox? PS4 in here.
Maybe Amazon Video, but you probably got to buy it. YouTube isn't gonna work on Voodoo. Yeah, you gotta buy Flash Gordon on Amazon.
All right, just Apple Pay me.
You get it tomorrow? Yeah. Okay. All right. So Friday. Oh wait. James said it's on Prime to rent.
Oh, okay.
And Blake, you better believe it. I will be here for the watch party. Empire Strikes Back. Okay. We have to mute my mic a little bit, so I'm not saying the entire
every word of the movie.
It's possible. All right. Let's see. Were we on to you, Chief, or me? Where were we?
You, I think.
You did Flash Gordon. Yeah. So it's probably you, Chief.
Oh, you were the Flash Gordon?
I should have had a sequel. Yeah, I agree with that.
Speed 2. Right?
Oh, yeah.
You had Sean, like they couldn't wait. Like they should have waited for Keanu to finish that movie he was on.
No, he wasn't going to do it.
I thought it was a conflict. Then they without.
Have you ever read or watched his? Who was it on? Leno. They were asking, "Hey man, what happened with you in Speed 2?" And he said, "Did you read the script?" It's hilarious. Yeah. He was like, "No way."
That was the scenario. It was actor wasn't going to say that movie.
I couldn't get over the new face.
Jason Patrick.
Yeah, I couldn't get over my man, and then so Speed 2 was not great. They should have made another Dread.
I'm taking that off my list because
the first one was great, man.
Awesome.
Anybody hasn't watched that on Netflix? It's on right now. Go watch that movie. Like,
that, not the Wesley Snipes one.
I mean, Sylvester Stallone.
Wesley Snipes was in that though.
No, you're talking about Demolition.
Oh, was that Dread, man? I thought it was Dread.
It was
no, Sylvester Stallone. That's right. That's right, because he went into the desert, right? His brother was part of the program too, and he didn't know it. That was Dread, right? He had a brother.
I don't know about that. I haven't watched the Sylvester Stallone version in a long time, especially after the Carl Urban version came out.
Like,
it might be.
The dude was like his closest friend was his brother, but he was also evil.
You might be right.
Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Maybe that's time.
Something tells me you're not wrong. That's why I'm not trying to co-sign, but I think you were right.
The 2012 Dread.
I have not seen that movie in 1,000 years, but no, it's like Dread was one of those. It's an R-rated movie.
Rob somebody. Snyder.
Sure. What? Rob Snyder. There's no way
he's in there. I think he's not wrong. I think Rob Snyder is in Dread.
That seems like a wild movie.
I am the law.
Anyhow, the Carl Urban version is amazing. I had that on my list too, Chief. That sucker is great.
When Shorty fell in slow motion, that was the greatest.
But you said you hadn't watched it in 3D yet.
Nah. You know what, man? And it's funny, man. I had a 3D TV. And Samsung top of the line 3D came with the glasses that you could press. And and I was moving out of one of my houses into my new house, and
that's a flex.
Was it
new house?
Yeah. I'm moving out of one house to out of my other house.
Well, I mean, everybody's moved out of their one house into the new house, right? So
you made it sound like you have multiple houses. Like,
I do, but that's not the flex.
That was a flex. Gotcha.
That was, but I had the
I'm sorry.
TV. I had a 65-inch 3D TV and beautiful TV, and I sold it to my man for like $200.
I should have got in on that sale. Damn.
Yeah, you would have had a bidding war for that one.
Yeah, you would have like shit.
And now I'm hearing that you're loving the 3D, so maybe I'll just go get another one.
You cannot. That's the dang problem. You cannot get any of those. But
you don't get them in America.
I've tried. I've tried.
Yeah, nah. I have one, Chief. We want to float through. I think I have 2 glasses. I do have 2 glasses. So yeah, go through because that joint is amazing in 3D. Yeah. I have that on my list too. Ryan is here in the chat bringing like all kinds of ridiculous hot takes and humor to no end. Dr. No should have had a sequel. I feel there could have been more fun adventures than that Agent 007 guy.
Hey, honestly, what was it? I would have enjoyed seeing George Lazenby, frankly.
Like, dude,
I mean, it's like it was a hard road to get that sequel, but that 007, I mean, on Her Majesty's Secret Services, that was a good movie.
Yeah, it was. And then The Hobbit needed a 4th chapter. Yes.
Woo! That's
right. Blake's giving us conversation times for later. Let me take a screenshot with my phone. That absolutely will be an episode topic soon, Blake. Maybe even as soon as next week. All right, let's see here. On my list, I have for a film that did not, and I started with 5, which is hilarious. Now You See Me. The first one was so good.
Oh, yeah.
It had a great twist. The second one was just like, hey, can we find the magic again? No. And they couldn't even bring back Isla Fisher because she was pregnant. It was like, no, you messed up the whole thing. And it was just not great. And definitely one of those that they didn't need to do a sequel. They felt like, oh, we should. It made enough money, but it just didn't work at all. I feel like somebody during any of the pre-production phase should have been like, you know what, guys, maybe we shouldn't do this. And they should have listened to that person, but nobody did. So we got it. And it was just terrible. So my one that I'm going to take Dread off my list since Chief called it. I'm going to go with, and I've already said Solo. So I'm going to go next with, Dawn of the Dead, Zack Snyder's version. I mean, zombie movie can keep going. I love that movie. It's one of my favorite zombie ones. Like Zack Snyder just nailed it with great characters who actually cared about getting killed or dying off, getting bit, whatever, as the movie progressed. The whole concept being in a shopping mall. I know this is not the original. I know it's just a remake.
The what's the name? Ving Rhames one?
Yes, sir. And there is a Mikhail Pfeiffer. So, yeah. And I mean, just so much cool stuff in it. And I would have loved to have seen where else he would have gone with that. New survivors joining the 4 that made it out. I mean, I really wish they.
I thought they got killed.
Huh?
I thought they died.
It's left up to your imagination.
Very ambiguous.
What happens to them? Yeah.
Oh man, Chief, Blake's coming through for you. Needed John Carter of Mars.
That's on my list.
Go ahead, Chief. Explain why it needed a sequel.
John Carter was just an excellent movie, man. It was one of those movies that you kind of just sitting around, nothing to do. Like, I'm gonna check this out, and then you find out the movie's fantastic. It was a fantastic movie, man. And once again, Hollywood drops the ball, man. They give you what you don't need, man. Try to force feed that down your throat, man. You know what I mean? And then the good movies, they just never a sequel. A bad movie, shoot. I'm surprised. Was there Spawn 2? You know what I mean?
They are making a new Spawn movie.
Yeah,
it's not the sequel.
That goes into Blake's other category.
John Leguizamo has the
Leguizamo.
the fat clown looking dude.
Wow, the clown.
Yeah, it was just So you John Carter, no. Clown dude, yes. But I mean, John Carter was excellent, man.
Yeah.
So we need a sequel. I mean, now at this point we don't, but we needed one back then. I mean, what was that? 20.
I still watch it. And yeah, Jamelin, I mean, I think we're all in agreement. John Carter was a really fun movie. If for whatever reason they were too afraid to say John Carter on Mars, because it was fun. I felt like it had lousy timing because this was right at the peak of Avengers, and this is how you do a comic book movie or a comic strip movie. And John just got capsized in the wake of the Avengers assembling, but Josh Whedon didn't want to say Avengers Assemble. But yeah, I mean, it was fun. It really could use a sequel, and yeah, I really wish it did. Jalen also goes, so true, Jeff. I found out about that movie late when the sequel was made. I watched the original. Now you see me at home and ran to see part 2. Woo.
Yeah, that came out in 2012, and that was.
I guess that was pretty good.
To me, that's always a ridiculous thing about that one. Is it's like, why don't you say John Carter Mars? You've already done Avengers, so why is this a stretch? You think people come out to stuff like this a little interesting? I never understood that.
Ryan is cracking me up in the chat tonight. Saving Ryan. Private Ryan Part 2. A team has to rescue Matt Damon's son in Vietnam. Best part is Tom Hanks is back again, but he's playing Forrest Gump. And I would pay to watch that sequel. Jace, you got another one?
Yeah, I got a few of them here. Got that one. Movies that did not need a sequel. Hangover 2. we got it. We're giving you everything you wanted. We do not need to go to the third time, and by it giving you all of Alan and Chow, that was too much.
Way too much
Alan. It's just like, I mean, that was Bradley Cooper just like, how much is the check? Sure, whatever. Ed Helms, yeah, sure. Okay, it's still good, right? Okay, fine.
That was unfortunate.
Yeah. The movie, my next one that should have got a sequel. I'm gonna go with, since I haven't talked about this one, I'm gonna go with Amazing Spider-Man 3.
I actually had that on my list.
Oh, okay.
I was like, no one's gonna put this on.
Well, I got another one. You and me are probably gonna be the only two who know this movie. So, but Amazing Spider-Man, it was just like we had lost Gwen. It's like, damn. It's like, and then I still say we still do not have a comic accurate Mary Jane, and that would have been the perfect movie to introduce her. And you go off to Spider-Man Sunset. I mean, just that's where I would have loved to see that movie. I mean, I like Tom Holland, but it's Andrew Garfield ones. I really like those ones.
He was good, but maybe because there's all these rumors and rumbling that we're going to get a sequel now that he's been reintroduced to the MCU. So fingers crossed, because I love this Spider-Man. I thought he had the best costume. I love the fact that he was making jokes. I mean, we got that later in Tom Holland, but it was like, this is Spider-Man. We still had the mask problem, but his was really good.
And I literally, like, because all you guys talked about how great Spider-Man 2 was. I watched that this weekend, and I'm like, how many times does this dude take off his mask?
So often.
Like, it's ridiculous. And I still everybody in New York would have taken a picture of this dude and be like, hey, Spider-Man, my credit score is a little low. I'm going to need you to work on that. And just, I mean, every time it's like they got what was it? Tobey Maguire and Kristen Dunst, and I just like, I just, this is going nowhere. I'm like, and maybe because I know it's going absolutely nowhere. I'm like, I just had less of like, I don't find this charming. Like, let's move it on. Like, oh, she's getting married to the dude she met 2 minutes ago when she hasn't told Peter about. Oh, that makes perfect sense. Fast forward. oh, the last scene is her getting married. Okay, the movie's over. I'm good. Like,
Yeah.
Snake
Guy says, I really like Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. We could maybe give him a third movie and a fourth movie for Toby. And that, Snake Eyes, sounds like it's in the works. Maybe for both of them. But yeah, I love the ending of Amazing Spider-Man 2. It felt like that was the kind of inspirational superhero ending we just don't see too often, where it was like the little kid, he's doing a thing. And Blake said, Jace, you just wanted to see a Rhino mech again. But yeah, I mean,
all right. Okay. I remember. I would have loved to see a Sinister Six versus Spider-Man. Like, that would have been really cool. Like
and 80s Kid says Andrew was an amazing Spider-Man, pun intended.
Andrew Garfield like 40. Then Tobey Maguire.
We saw him in the last movie. I mean, the last Spider-Man movie.
Man, they were old.
He's like, Tobey looked old. I think Andrew looked old.
Yeah.
It just, I don't know. They made him look. He looked haggard. I mean, maybe they made him look like that. But I just feel like at a certain point they ruined the actors' chances of coming back and making the movie decent.
Let's ask. Like, you saw the last Spider-Man movie, right? I mean, yeah, you just mentioned. So it's like you get. I mean, like, as much as I would like to see another Andrew Garfield movie, I think they ended his like, hey, I'm cool. I can move on. Thank you guys, because I got screwed over out of having my third movie. I could have easily ported it over to MCU, but you guys didn't want that, which still
but that's what they were doing to us at one point in time. They were giving us a couple movies, then they reboot and start a whole new origin story with the same character 2 years later, and then we go and we see that movie, and then they give us 2-3 movies, and then they'd be like, hey, guess what? We're going to reboot and give you an origin story.
That was the thing I liked about the MCU when they went with the new Spider-Man. They didn't give us that origin. They just like, Spider-Man, let's go. Like, we're not going to act like we need to reintroduce. You saw him in Civil War, but let's introduce you to how it happened. Like, nope, next movie. We know what happened. He's Spider-Man.
Let's get over it. Yeah. And Ryan's still bringing the heat. Any given Sunday, too. Monday Night Lights. What happened when Al Pacino and Jamie Foxx took over the new NFL expansion team in New Mexico?
Hey, what's my movie? Gosh, oh my gosh, not
The Replacements.
No, oh my gosh, Friday night's a great night for football.
Oh, Last Boy Scout.
Last Boy Scout.
I would have watched the sequel to that.
Me too.
Apparently, they didn't get along with each other.
They hated each other.
So that wasn't gonna work out too well.
Yeah, it was not gonna work.
And Blake wants to see the sequel to Thelma and Louise. That'd be a very short movie.
Let's just keep going. All right.
Could have had MJ come in as a transfer student, Andrew Garfield's senior year for the next movie. It's so funny because Emma Stone, redhead. I was like, you can find a blonde because Emma Stone is Mary Jane.
She had just, it was funny because she had just done Easy A. It was like, you don't need to do it. Like, no, why? It's again, that's why I said, like, you didn't have a comic accurate. But all you had to do was not, she became Grim. Cool.
What they might do is just put a red wig on
her. She didn't even need a wig.
And just be like, yo, she's Mary Jane now.
Maybe. Or just let her roll with her natural red. Or whatever.
Is she naturally red?
I think she's blonde, naturally blonde, but she pulls off red.
She rocks
Look, I don't want to see it, so I don't care how it comes.
All right, last round, fellas. Okay. What you got, Jace?
All right. Okay, since I got that one, movies that should not get in the sequel. I'm gonna go with Sin City 2. Like, Sin City was cool. I was gritty. All right, and then you got the Tales of Marv. It was like,
so bad.
Man, this is some trash. Like, just. Hey, this is he's just busting walls. Like, really? This is what we get. We got Sin City was cool, but then you gave us this incoherent story that was just like, man, thanks, Jeff. I really wanted to go to this movie, but somehow you couldn't took me to this other movie that sucks. Yeah.
The best character in it was Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and his was like so small, but yeah, that's a great choice. Yeah. What should have had a sequel?
Since I'm going to talk some, you probably have. I'm gonna let that one go. I'm gonna still go with Dracula Untold. I thought you could have had some vampire on vampire, mess around in New York City. Action brings up a WB universe, a monster universe. I think it would have been cool. Like you could add a Wolfman, you could add a.
I mean, they left it up open ended, Jace, which I thought there was definitely going to be a sequel.
Yeah, I mean, it was literally going to be the start. They're like, we're going to make this monster universe, and somehow it's like, I don't know if it didn't make 100 mistakes. It's still Dracula, so you have to kind of. You're not in Avengers territory. You're not going to get everybody. So, and then I think it's like you're trying to do a Dracula movie, which I don't know if it was PG or PG-13. Part of me wants to say it was PG. No, that was no.
It was PG-13. It was PG-13. I'm looking at it now.
Yeah, again, there was like a battle scene where you got vampires. Like it should have been rated R. Okay. But you want to go PG-13, the Dracula movie, and then you're like, oh, we're going to make it for the mass. Like, nah, lean into that rated R. You would have probably got everything you wanted out of that movie. And
I mean, the vampire have been following around for like 300 or 400 years at this point. So the vampire's following around. Why can't we get a sequel?
I mean, so it made 217 million worldwide. It grossed the total in the U.S. of 56. Its budget was 70 million.
But worldwide, it still made us nut.
Yeah,
I mean, because even with production, marketing, they probably didn't put $100 million in marketing. He's like, it's like you were gonna say, oh, our marketing was 125 million. Our budget for the movie was 50. I mean, but we got to go extra on the movie. It's like, no, that didn't track. I mean, it's I think we lost out on some good movies.
All right, what's this one? I'm curious. What's this one you think I'm going to say? Because I feel like I don't have that one.
Rise of the Guardians.
Yes, that was my one. Yeah. Rise of the Guardians was such a great movie and really good in 3D too. And there were so many holiday themed characters that just seemed ripe for a sequel. I'm like, I'm still waiting for it because it doesn't matter the ages of how old the actors look. They just need to sound remotely the same. But, oh, man, that was such a fun movie. And I'm just like, oh, who else could they introduce? And just to get that one, but you do know me very well because, yeah, that for sure was there. Dracula Untold.
It's on Netflix.
Oh, it is? Great. Mm-hmm. So, guys, yeah, man. I mean, Rise of the Guardians, I love that movie so much. And she's saying, man, oh, jeez.
I think, this is one of those weird things. I think if that movie had just had a label by Pixar or Disney, I think you would have seen the sequel. I think it was on DreamWorks, and DreamWorks have made some great movies. I just think they couldn't. I don't know if they missed the marketing that you could have come with those two movies, but those few companies, but yeah.
Jamila, which version of Slate? I looked it up, and there are like 3 that came within like the last 5 years. So let me know which one you're talking about. Yeah. So since I hopped the line on you, Chief, my one that did not need a sequel, Kick-Ass. That movie sequel is so bad, and the first one is like pushing the edge. It's all edgy or whatever, but gosh, the second one just goes off the cliff of like, look how extreme we can get. It's too much. And any trace of a cool story they had in the first one is just gone with a sequel. And I'm just like, this is a waste of time. And that's one of those movies where I'm just like, I'm going to have to write a review. All I want to write is, this took too much time out of my life to see. And I can't make that any more than that. 2016 one. Yeah, no, I haven't seen it. Should I add it to my list? And which one is it? Is it one that needed a sequel? Or yeah. Yes, this is the one with Jim Carrey. And I feel like he's trying too hard to be what Nicolas Cage made come off so easy in the first film. It's just, man, so much I dislike about that. All right, Chief, wrap us up. Which film needed a sequel? Which one did not?
What needed a sequel? I'm gonna go back up top again to your favorite DC Comics. Justice League needed a sequel. Snyder, of course, Snyderverse.
I gotta feel you to clarify.
Hold on a second. Snyderverse.
Not Whedon cut.
not my man Whedon. Good God, and he's in charge of it now, right? The whole thing, right?
Of what?
Who's in charge of DC now?
James Gunn and Peter
James
Safran.
Gunn. Okay. So yeah, we need a Justice League. We saw at the end of that, we saw fucking Darkseid. We was all like, "Oh,
we saw Darkseid. We saw our Martian Manhunter."
Right. I mean,
again, and I'm still trying to figure out. They said Unite the Seven, most of the promotion, and then didn't give us the 7. It's like, bro, seriously, the dude's in here. He's Martian Manhunter. We freaking know.
They killed the villain in this joint. They ripped this dude apart, and then kicked his head back into through the boom tube.
Like that was disrespectful.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, and then they were just kind of standing there like, yeah, we gave you his head back. What's up?
And, you want to come here, Bert?
Yeah. And the man was just like, So I was like, okay, so now then we get this. That joint makes me
upset, Chief, again.
It does. I'm sorry, Chief.
See, that's why I can't come on every week, man.
All right. Well, per your contract, union regulations. All right, which one didn't need a sequel?
Whole 10 yards.
Yes.
That was
actually on my list too.
Whole 9 yards was pretty good. Whole 10 yards.
They made a sequel?
Yes, they really did. Oh gosh.
Let me tell you, man.
All the charm of the first one.
And I was gonna go with Wonder Woman because we saw in 1984 that wasn't gonna be needed, but I think we beat that up a few weeks ago, and I think we beat it up well. So we're gonna go with the whole 10 yards, man. Bruce Willis is back.
Exactly.
James was right there with you.
What happened? Oh yeah, the sequel, yeah. But yeah, whole 10 yards, man, was not needed. Should never be needed. And we're just gonna forget that movie exists.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna wait for that Man of Steel sequel. Yeah, it's coming. You know what I mean? They're probably what's my man name from DJ Qualls will probably be the new Superman.
He didn't feel like working out, Chief.
You know what I mean? Yeah, so it is what it is, man.
All right, well, it's that magical time of the week. Gentlemen, who are your nominees for Dummies of the Week? Jace, let's switch things up. Kick us off.
You already know where this is going. Let me turn on my orange background so we can get that full effect of that orange back there.
I appreciate the
and the blue hats.
Color appropriate.
Yeah. So my dummy of the week is every Broncos fan that thought we had a chance of winning more than 5 games this year. But Sean Payton's gonna make it all work. Russell's gonna be throwing for 350. Our running game's gonna be dominating, getting 2 running backs, 200 yards. Oh, wait, that's the other teams. Oh, right. We're going to get the second highest score ever put up on us on week 3. And we're royally wondering, hey, can we get – I know the Chicago team sucks, but can we actually beat them?
I want to watch that game on TV. I hope Fox.
Oh, my gosh. Fox is going to be – the people who like Denver and Chicago will be like, this is wrong. I will talk to somebody. I will buy whatever your thing is just to make me not watch this game, or I will find something else to watch. But I kind of want to watch it just to laugh at that game. But yeah,
somebody's got to win, Bull.
That's the who one is going to be giving their draft pick to Seattle. Great job, Seattle. Excellent con.
They knew they suckered y'all in.
Oh
and
my
you also had nothing left.
I mean, these dudes did better than if Andy Reid calls you and say, hey, I got a quarterback. You want him? You say no. He is done. You know you're getting absolutely nothing. When Andy Reid calls you for a trade, you're like, nope, I know what you know. Nope, I'm good. So because, I really like this Russell kid, but it's going to cost you.
Hey, man, You got to tell Sierra to get off of him during the football week, man. That man is drained. He has nothing left for the field. He has nothing left for the field, man.
He has no 1-2 step left.
Yeah. Like, hey, man, you got sleep in another room. You know I got the game tomorrow. That man throwing 3 yards.
Hey, again, I want to say he at least got 300 yards last week. So it's not just Russell. It is, hey, would you like to tackle? Nah, man. I might strain my hamstring. This game's over, right? This is a mercy rule. No, there is not.
They've already scored 21, Coach.
We can't do it. We haven't scored 21 points in 2 years.
My favorite part in the game was afterward. Well, my favorite part was when they were asking Mike McDaniel, hey, you could have gotten the record. Yeah, I didn't want to run it up. I just felt like that's not what we would want to have an opponent do to us. So
that's calm. Man, how bad do you have to feel when the dude literally a grown man is saying, I'm showing you mercy? Like, this is not Cobra Kai. This is the opposite of Cobra Kai. He's like, I showed you mercy. Like, you should all quit. Like, at that point, you're just like we are we don't know if we could beat a college team right now, so we got to go check. Like,
I'm not even a Denver Broncos fan, and I had a bag on in my house. I said, man, I don't know why they recognize me watching this game.
Oh, Ryan, I just hope so too.
Hey, listen, I've got the NFL package. It'll be available over here for you.
There you go, Jace. You can watch the game.
You know what? I think I pulled a hamstring. I can't get to my car.
I got y'all beating the Bears, though. I mean, honestly, I think you got a better quarterback than the Bears. I think Fields is I think that dude is done.
Fields is ready to go. He should. I mean, I don't understand why his agent doesn't say, okay, Justin, here's how we're going to do this. We are going to pull a James Harden. You're getting out of here. You're going to burn it all down. Like, just tell them, like, these coaches are incompetent. I don't know why. I should have pulled an Eli Manning and demanded I never come here. That was a mistake on my part. I want out. Like, he should just like, I'm not going to let this team drain my potential anymore. I want out.
All right, my nominee is Stars Network for canceling Heels.
What?
Because they canceled it.
How you gonna cancel a show during a pandemic? I mean, a strike. Like, what?
I don't know. It's like there are no shows to watch. Hey, Heels is a new show. Maybe you would have an audience. Your stars have had zero opportunities to promote the second season at all. People are still starved for content. Maybe people will hear word of mouth. You should give this a chance. Okay, why not?
Here's the deal. I don't understand this. And like, instead of like, if you want to check to see if your thing sucks and doesn't have an audience, send it to Netflix and let people experience for free. Like, hey, we don't know if this is really working. Let's get these 2 seasons to Netflix and then see if people like it. Like, I mean, hell, people are watching Suits like it's new. Like, how do you, like, come on, like, just check and see. Hey, maybe people don't think this sucks. Like, come on.
Yeah, and they've had terrible luck. But I'm just like, nobody's paying stars to watch any show. So why would you cancel it beforehand? Because I'm sure if it goes to Netflix, people start watching. I'm not paying for stars. I watched it because my cable provider had the season on for free. And I'm like, wait, you can pay to watch seasons 2's episode 1? No, I'm good, thank you.
Yeah, but if you give me a Paramount Plus, I'll watch the whole season in the weekend. Thanks, call you next year. Like,
yeah. So no, Chief, who's your dummy of the week?
Man, it's hard. It's difficult, man. I'm in the football world with you, Jace, man. I've been laughing at you, but really I've been crying inside myself, man. So I don't know if Giants fans are these are some of the most delusional dudes ever to walk the earth, man. I think they just say anything. I think you know what I mean? They're almost as delusional as Colin Kaepernick after a 5-year hiatus, thinking that somebody's going to pick him up. Dude, At this point, if you
Jets
don't
should
realize
pick him up.
dude, he's been blackballed. At this point, if you don't realize you've been blackballed, like it's obvious, bro. They've come out, they've played the game with you. They've come out and watch you work out and
No, I mean,
go through the steps
they
so
want
they
you
can legally.
and then they gave you money and be like,
Yeah, they could legally say, hey, yeah, now we watched them. But
Yeah. We'd rather have Zach Wilson than you.
man, listen, and Giants fans, anytime somebody, you just got to read the comments, man. These dudes are just out of their minds.
Any online fan community is, I mean, it's like,
bro,
accept where your team is realistically. Like me, I'm not getting 4 wins. I know that. But you will have those fans in the comments like, oh, we just need to know. It's over.
Bro, they'd be like, let's trade Andrew Thomas and Saquon Barkley for Mike Evans. And I'll be like, what are you talking about?
What jerk, what idiot is gonna make that trade? Like, do I want to keep my job to get jobs? Like, come on.
We got $5 in cap space. $5 left. And these dudes are all every week talking about who we should pick up, who's coming to the team, we don't have the money, bro. We don't have the money. We don't have the talent. These dudes, man, these dudes are playing. Listen. I'm not even they don't tackle. And it'll be funny, man, because the Giants will go out there and have a crappy performance, right? Just lower down, just a big old stinking turd on the field, right? And then the next day the reporters will be asking them questions. Them batters be mad, the players. What? Don't ask me that. Don't ask me that. And I'll be like, yo, you went out there, you didn't produce. The Giants are clearly paying you. Everybody lives in a nice place with a nice car, nice jewelry. We see, look, anybody who comes to work dressed like they do, you know you're doing well. When you can wear a onesie and walk up into a building with the footies on, a little backpack with a onesie with the footies, and you confidently walk into the locker room, they show you the pregame walk. I'm like, you got on a onesie with the footies? You know you're making good money. Because if I went outside in a onesie with a footie,
I would laugh at you.
I would laugh.
Not only would I,
I'm taking pictures like, nah, you got to stay right here.
Right. But they still pulling women. Women are like, oh my God, yeah. So you are making money when you can come outside in a onesie and walk home with the baddest girl outside. So now you're making money. You live in one of the biggest markets for football, for opportunity anywhere. And then you're mad at the reporters because you couldn't tackle. You couldn't stop nobody on defense. Like, what are we done paid out over $100 million this offseason to the defense. And man, we are getting run like it. Any one of us could probably get 5 yards of carry on the Giants right now. They are not stopping the run. They are not stopping. Remember Debo, man. How big is Debo Samuels?
He's pretty big. He's not easy for these guys.
He's not big enough for our linebacker that we paid $40 million to bounce off of him. Listen, man.
I wasn't saying a word, Chief.
Listen, you can say what you need to say, man. I mean, because the first half was decent. That second half, we must have gotten to the locker room. Everybody just kind of looked around. What you want to do? Man, let's forget it, man. Let's just give this one a stamp. You want to be sure? Yeah. Let them. You know what? Let them have the second half, man. Let them do what they want. All right.
He's 6 foot 215.
Our linebacker got to be 250. And then 215.
25.
Bro, 6-7 people bounced off of him. Listen. A 215 man shouldn't have 6 people. Listen, don't even get me started. Let's just end this joint.
Okay. All right. We'll do that. We'll do the thing. All right. So Friday, we'll be back doing a live watch party of Flash Gordon, 7:00. I'll make sure you guys have the reminder and all that good stuff. We'll make sure the Chief is all queued up and ready for it. And tomorrow night, back on Loud's Figure Files for everybody to come hang out. We'll talk about all the big stuff from Hasbro, etc., the progress of this HasLab oh so slowly, and everything else that comes through. So thank you all so much for tuning in. As always, this episode of Lyle's Movie Files has been filed.